Today I'm going to refilm a video that I did last night because I'll be honest, I filmed a get ready with me using a whole bunch of new makeup because Georgia and I basically did a swap where we sent each other makeup from the drugstore from our respective countries that we couldn't get in Australia and for her in the US. And my makeup just, it looks so bad. And I don't like to think I'm particularly vain, but let's face it, you know, when my face is in the internet, it's like there for life and I just have to redo it. So I have obviously got my makeup on. This is the kind of like the end of the day where I've just come back from work and I have got remnants of makeup on, but I'm going to add some more makeup. I'm gonna add to my face. So thank you, Georgia, so much for sending me all these things. Some of this stuff I've wanted to try for ages and I just never pulled the trigger. I actually mentioned some of these things in my window shopping video with my sister and she was trying to talk me out of it. And so I'm so glad that Georgia sent me this. I'm gonna play it a lot more safe than I did yesterday. I tried to do something a little bit more artsy and creative, but it didn't work out. So we're gonna play it safe and do a fairly simple eye look this time. Fingers crossed. Anyway, if you wanna see her video where she tries on all the makeup that I bought her, I'll leave it in the description right below. I'm really excited to see what looks she creates with it. And I am going to play with the makeup that she's given me. I'm gonna start off with eyeshadow because she's sent me this Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air palette. And I actually quite like this. Despite the terrible look that I did the other day, I think it's quite nice. I do think the Modern Renaissance is better, obviously, but I think for $5, this is a really great alternative if you don't want to spend, you know, $42 on it. And she also sent me this primer from Hard Candy, a brand that I have heard of, but I haven't ever tried anything. So I was really excited to try this, and I do think this is a pretty good primer, so I like it. It's kind of got a silicone type feel. There is a bit of color, but it goes on translucent on me. And I need a mirror. I feel like this is why I don't film Get Ready With Me's that often, because I'm just all over the place. And yeah, sometimes they just turn out really rubbish. So I'm just hoping this will go a lot better. What am I gonna do? So I'm gonna start with this mauve shade. I'm just gonna take this flat shader brush. I think it's a crown brush. I've had this for ages. Just put it all over my eyelid. This particular color isn't very strong, but it does add a little something. I think this kind of palette, the tones in here are really easy and safe. Very work appropriate if you're working in a conservative office environment, which I do. I used to play it safe, but since I've dyed my hair blue, I feel like there's really no point anymore, isn't it? People are gonna expect crazy from you. So I just do whatever I want nowadays. And no one has said anything. See, there's a little bit of color, but it's not anything too crazy, which is nice. Sometimes you don't need it to be bam purple. I'm gonna add these orange type shades, this burnt red and the orange. I think I'm gonna add it to the outer V, the outer regions of my eye, to give it some depth and dimension. I was about to put some more makeup on my face when my family just came in and visited us. I mean, I love my family, but the thing about living right next door to your parents is that there's pretty much very little privacy. It's kind of like an everybody loves Raymond situation, except I do love being really close to my parents, but it can sometimes, you know, the boundaries are just, they're blurred. I'm also gonna add some brown and concentrate it where my wing is as well. And this is definitely one of those looks that I do if I just wanted to do something really simple for work, which I did do the other day actually, but I did add some glitter because why not? I know Georgia doesn't really like glitter, but the only time when I would add glitter is when I'm using my Stila Magnificent Metals. I find that other forms of glitter just, it's too finicky for me. I'm also not really a big glitter person because it's kind of too much effort. And then I'm also gonna add this gorgeous, what is it? Deep berry pink on the center. The pigmentation is nice. I'm also gonna add this kind of yellowy brown shade in the crease as well. I do find that you kind of have to work them up and build them up slowly because if you over blend, they can just disappear and get a little bit muddy. But it's definitely workable. I'm also gonna add a little bit of that transition on the lower lash line. I'm definitely the kind of person that does need to add something there because otherwise it just kind of gets lost. Next, I'm gonna mix this deep brown and the orange and kind of just add more of it to my lower lash line. I do think the way that this palette works the best is just to keep it simple and don't go too crazy. For me anyway, in my experience. I'm gonna add that gold and I'm gonna just, with this massive brush, just add it in the inner corner as well. Because I have a lot of darkness in this area and I do feel like it needs to be brightened up a little bit. These shimmers aren't my favorite, but having said that, the shimmers in the Modern Renaissance palette aren't my favorite either. I don't think they're particularly good. I feel like I have a lot of darkness in this area because I don't sleep very much. I feel like my liner today was not matching, but oh well. Sometimes close enough is good enough. So wings are on. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some mascara. Now I have used these for the first time last night. I don't think these work that well for my lashes because I have the worst lashes possible. They are short, they are sparse, they're really fine. And unfortunately these don't hold a curl. So I think for me, they would probably work better if you have naturally beautiful lashes, which unfortunately is not my case. I think I prefer the volume over the lengthening one. I have got mascara on already, but I'm just gonna coat over them, add it to my lower lashes as well. I feel like this mascara would work pretty well in the brows, so that's what I'm gonna do. I've already got brow product in here, so I'm just adding some mascara just to define them a bit more. And I actually quite like this as a brow gel. That's what I'd use this for. Okay, let's move on to cheeks. I've got the Milani Luminoso blush. I like this, I like the color. The one thing I think is a little bit strange about this is the packaging. It's got a tiny, teeny tiny mirror that I feel like is super impractical, and you can see the camera. I just don't know why they would add it. I just feel like if you're gonna do a mirror, do a good mirror rather than a tiny, like, I don't know anyone using a mirror this small to, I don't know, maybe let's try it. I feel like it's just super impractical, but maybe there are people that use this mirror. Let me know if you're one of these people. Beautiful color, it's gorgeous. And I love it that it's got a bit of a sheen to it. It's got a bit of shimmer. I just find that these are so much more flattering on the skin than a flat matte blush. It's really beautiful. Love this shade. I know I'm like one of the last people to try this blush. Better late than never. I can add some on the nose as well. And on the chin. Just feel like blush just brings more life back into my face. I really like that. Especially in winter when it's super cold. Just need some blush. Georgia also sent me the Wet n Wild Precious Petals highlighter. I've heard so many things about this highlighter, and I recently saw that she decluttered it because it's too dark for her skin tone. But for me, this is a beautiful highlighter, and I think it works well. It's nice. I'm also gonna add a little bit in the inner corner as well, because why not? Just to amp it up. And you know what? Let's add a tiny bit to the brow bone. I don't usually add brow bone highlight, but why not? Let's just put the makeup on. She sent me these Jordana lip liners. Funny story is actually many years ago I ordered these on eBay. They never arrived to me. They got lost in the mail because I heard that they were good. And they're also inexpensive. And on top of that, you don't have to sharpen them. They wind up and down, which is awesome. I mean, why doesn't every lip liner pencil function like this? I'm not the kind of person that lines my lips because I'm lazy, but I feel like I get a better application obviously when I do. This is not as smooth as say your ColourPop ones. I feel like it feels more of like a traditional lip liner. It's got a bit of like it drags a little bit, but I think it's a nice lip liner. That's my lips lined, and I'm gonna add, she sent me these Flower Beauty lipsticks. This, I believe, is a brand that Drew Barrymore started, and I've heard Georgia Harris talk about these and she likes them, so I was excited to try them. This is Cinnamon Crush, And this one is Peach Nude. Peachy Nude. They're quite nice and creamy. I'm going to use Cinnamon Crush. This is kind of like My Lips But Better type of shade. She chose really well. And I am gonna blot it because I like my lips to generally either be kind of balmy or matte. So this is the final look, and I've pretty much used everything that she sent me. Oh no, I haven't used this setting spray yet. So I'm gonna do that. Let's spray my face. And I do actually quite like this setting spray. The scent kind of reminds me of a hair salon. Like it's got that kind of hair product smell. The only thing I did not use this round, I didn't use this Wet n Wild highlighter. I think this is a new one. This is in Royal Calyx. It's kind of like a blue toned, it's one of those like trendy shades. I think this would work nicely, not maybe on my cheekbones because I feel like because of the tone, it would probably make me look bruised. But, you know, in the inner corner as an eyeshadow, even as a lip topper. Ooh, she also sent me this Hard Candy highlighter, which is quite nice as well. I have used it a couple of times. It smells like vanilla cake, which I don't mind. I generally don't like scents in makeup, but I am quite partial to vanilla scents, so I do like this. I could smell this all day long. So yeah, this is the finished look. I think this is way, way better than what I did the other day because that was a mess. And this is my kind of safe look. They're tones that are in my comfort zone. I think the standout products for me are probably this blush. I think it's beautiful, this shade. Love it. I really enjoy the Wet n Wild highlighter. This shade in particular, I do think this shade is, I think the formula is a little bit different, and I think the shade as a highlighter, it's not a highlighter. For me, it's not a highlighter, but you know, could work on people with a different skin tone or a different preference to me. So good on them for trying to do something trendy. And I also do like the Flower Beauty lipsticks. I think they're really nice. Okay, that's enough rambling because I'm just going all over the place now. I hope you found this, I don't know, fun to watch. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Please go and watch Georgia's video. Send her some love. I'm interested to see what she creates with the makeup I've sent her. She's super creative, so it's always fun to see what other people do with different makeup. Anyway, if you want to see more of my face, please subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.